Hey everybody. Today, I know this is a strange configuration we have here, but I'm going to be on my side. And that is one of the more difficult positions to be in to keep your balance. So I'm going to show a lot of modifications just so you can see different ways to do this. And then as you get more comfortable with your balance and you're not as wobbly, I'll just bring it up so you can add that little challenge there. Okay, so I am going to be on my side. I'm going to have my elbow, my shoulder, the back of my ribs, my hip bone, not the back of my butt, but my hip bone, and my feet, my heels, along the back edge of the mat. So here we are. Check it there. And I do want to make sure that I feel along the back edge of my ribs and on my hip bone. We want to keep our hips stacked and our shoulders stacked. A lot of times when we first do this, our shoulder wants to roll forward, our hip wants to roll back. So we want to keep them stacked. We're looking straight ahead, nose and eyes are looking straight ahead. And your hand can be here, your feet are flexed. If you want to make it harder, you can put your hand on your hip. Make sure your elbow is up towards the ceiling and not back behind you. You want it up. Even harder would be having the hand up in the air. Armpit is down, hands are relaxed. All right, so this may be enough right here. The first time I put my hand in this position, when I was on my side, I fell on my nose and squawked really loudly. So let's see if I can not do that. But if you do, you've just joined my club and that's okay. So I'm gonna bring my arm over by my ear and up towards the ceiling. Over by the ear and up towards the ceiling. Keep your ribs tucked, the armpit is pulled down. Both hands are relaxed. Last time, over and back up. All right, so this time instead of coming over by my ear, I'm gonna bring it forward. Now you could just bring it here, or you could bring it farther forward. The closer it is to parallel to the floor, the harder it is. And then back up. Forward. You may see my body do little adjustments. Keep lifting up to your pelvic floor. Again, this is very difficult. It may look easy and it's simple, but it's not easy. Here, we're gonna do that one more time. Over and up. All right, so I'm gonna start with my hand on the floor. And then this time, instead of my arms doing anything, my legs are gonna be doing something. So I'm gonna lift my top foot up about hip high, not very high, bottom leg up, and both down. Really watch the top hip, it wants to roll back. Now if you're feeling good with your balance, you can put your hand on your hip, make sure your elbow's up towards the ceiling, top leg up, bottom leg up, and both down. Top leg up, bottom leg up. If you want to make it harder, hand up in the air, both down one more time. Top leg up, bottom leg up, and both down. Something we want to take out of our feet is they may want to do this. We want to keep them flexed, okay, and not clapping. So I'm going to keep my hand up there, but you can always bring it down here or here if you need to. I'm going to squeeze both legs together real tight and lift them both up at the same time. Lower, hover if you can, touch if you need to, lift, and lower and hover, lift, lower and hover one more time with feeling, up, and all the way down. All right, so now I'm gonna keep my elbow, my shoulder, back of my ribs and my hip bone along the back edge of the mat. I'm gonna bring my heels to the front edge of the mat. So from this position, I may look like a human boomerang. And that's what we want. We want it to be still looking straight ahead and not looking at our toes, because that rounds out our back. okay? So nose and eyes are looking straight ahead. I'm gonna put my hand on my hip. You can put your hand here. Lift your top foot up about hip high. We're gonna bring it forward and then back. Keep that low belly tight. Forward and back. So you're resisting going forward and resisting going back. Now I'm gonna add a little extra challenge here. You can always keep it smooth like this, or you can bring it forward with a little kick, kick, and then back, kick, kick. Forward, kick, kick. Notice my elbow is not really moving. And that's what we want, because this long limb is doing all the moving, and the rest of our body wants to reciprocate. And both feet down. All right. So that was one side. Now we're gonna do the other side. Flip around. Again, you want your elbow, your shoulder, the back of your ribs, your hip bone, and your heels along the back edge of the mat. Okay, you can have your hand in front, and it may be different on this side. It may be like, oh, this is the easy side. Or it might be, what planet am I on? Okay, nose and eyes are looking straight ahead. Try not to look at the floor or at your toes. Still lifting up to your pelvic floor, ribs are tucked down, armpits are down. If you can, put your hand on your side. If you're feeling really good with your balance, hand up in the air. Each one of these is more difficult than the one before it. All right, again, we're gonna bring the arm over by our ear, and then back up towards the ceiling, over by the ear, and up towards the ceiling. Keep the ribs down, keep pulling down in the armpits. That shoulder wants to come up and become an earring, but we don't like that. It's too heavy. And up. Okay, so this time, instead of going by the ear, we're gonna come forward a little or a lot, and then back up towards the ceiling. Forward and back up. 2 more forward. Keep pulling your shoulder blade back. Notice my shoulder is not going forward with my hand. It's just my arm. And back up. All right, go ahead and put your hand back down. You can start with your hand here. This is where we're going to be lifting the top foot up, about hip high, bottom foot up, and both down. If you can, hand on your hip is even harder. Bottom leg up, watch your top hip, it wants to roll back, and both down, nice and slow. Top leg up, and I am going slow. I always imagine like I'm going through honey or through water. Last time like this. If you want to, you can have your hand up in the air. This time we're gonna squeeze our legs together real tight, lift both legs up, and both legs down. Hover if you can, rest down if you need to, up. Remember your hands are nice and relaxed, lower and hover, lift on up, lower and hover, one more time, lift on up, and bring it on down. Okay, so I'm gonna put my hand down, keep my elbow, my shoulder, the back of my ribs, and my hip bone along the back edge, and bring my feet to the front edge. Again, the break is at the hip, not at the waistband. I'm not gonna look at my feet, even though I just did my toenails. I'm not gonna look at them. I'm gonna look straight ahead. Okay, hand is on your hip. If you want, but make sure the elbow is not going back behind you. You want your hand straight up in your hand here, or you can put your hand here. I'm gonna keep my hand on my hip. Lift your top foot up about hip high, bring it forward, and back. Again, this is a long limb. It has a lot of bone and a lot of muscle, and your body wants to move with it, either closing it up or it wants to alternate. Like when your leg goes back, your body may want to go forward. Forward and back. This time I'm going to add that little kick, kick. So forward, kick, kick, back, kick, kick. Forward, kick, kick, back, kick, kick. Forward, kick, kick, back, kick, kick. Last time, kick, kick.